Recording 19B.
Yeah, he's great.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Greenville Community Center. Today, we're going to be talking about what we as a community can do to help each other in severe weather. Our lovely little village is, as you know, quite remote. There may be other similar-sized communities only 25 kilometers away, but emergency services have to drive 500 kilometers to reach us from the closest large town. That can mean a wait of up to 10 hours before help arrives. Having said that, we are very lucky in that we've always had our own fire service. And thanks to the arrival of Dr. Jones earlier this year, we no longer have to drive so far if anyone gets sick. What we don't have, and are unlikely to get in the near future, is a weather station. Now, the National Weather Bureau can provide a lot of helpful information and even warn us about severe storms, but they can only do this if they build up a database of information. And to do that, they need local help. That means us. What we'd like to do is set up a group of volunteer storm spotters to pass information on to the Weather Bureau. So, what do these storm spotters have to do? Well, thankfully, you don't have to be particularly skilled in anything. Quite simply, immediately after a storm has passed, the first thing you have to do is call the National Weather Station to let them know. After that, you have to complete a report card, which is very simple and won't take more than a few minutes to do. The only other thing they ask is that we keep an eye out for any reports in the local newspaper of storms or storm damage. You need to cut these out and send them in as well. Damage that makes news here is unlikely to make it into the national papers, so these can be an important source of extra information. So that's all as far as the duties go. Now, what sort of thing do you need to report? Well, they don't want to hear about every single storm that we have, only the ones that bring some unusual conditions. For example, we don't need to call them just because there is hail, but we should report any hailstones that are 2 centimeters in diameter or bigger. They also need to know about damage caused by high wind, especially if it uproots large trees. Again, don't contact them every time you see a tree falling over. You should use your common sense and restrict it to those big enough to cause a problem, especially on our roads. They'd also like to hear about very heavy rainfall, and more especially any localized flash floods. So what should you do if you care about our community and you want to help? Well, obviously, you'll need a bit more information and preparation than I've given you today. So we'll be conducting a training session next month. This will only take up a day, so don't worry too much about it. If you do have the time and would like to come along, then you'll need to talk to the police who are coordinating the event. And as our storm season is from November right to the end of January, you'll need to put your name down by the end of October at the very latest. But if you'd like to get in early, Sergeant Phillips is here this afternoon, and he's happy to take names now. This really is important for our community, and we're hoping to get a lot of support. Thank you.